Hello and welcome to episode 165 of Ask the Accountant, part of the Ask the Accountant Network, a podcast network for accountants and bookkeepers, not only in the UK, but across the world. We're supported by what we'll be launching on the 1st of January, which is our Patreon community. We've already got a few members in there. I think we've got 11 people in there already. Not really sure how we've got 11 people in there, considering we've technically not launched the channel, but people have found a way in. So, hey, if people want to get in early, that's fine by them. But yes, on the 1st of January, we'll be... Say again?
Our community must be Sherlock Holmes, like looking for, trying to find it all, putting the pieces together, trying to, very impressed, very impressed.
Yeah. They've done a good job. But yes, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Aaron Patrick. Aaron, how are you and how was your Christmas week?
Absolutely glorious. It was brilliant. Yeah. I went into it thinking, am I even going to have Christmas off? But basically, I took Christmas off, then I took Boxing Day off. And I thought, well, I'll just sit on the sofa and do a bit of work for the rest of the Christmas time. You know what I mean? Until today, I'm back at the desk today. I've got a full day of work today, but it was nice to have that time off to go through that. In fact, I've got a little story actually. Of what I did yesterday. So, have you ever watched? Have you ever watched Jet Lag? Does that ring any bells?
I've heard of it. I've not watched it.
Highly recommend it to absolutely everyone out there, right? So I know Tim over at Guernsey, he watches it as well. But it's by a bunch of YouTubers, and their whole premise is that they go off and they do like capture the flags and all this, but it's all geography based. It's all like in real world, and hide and seek's my favorite one they do. And they're actually doing a season now in the UK. It's the first time they've ever done it. So they're in the UK, and literally they started at St. Pancras, and one person went off, and then they have ways in which to find, but you find the person. It's all this like scavenger hunt type idea. Absolutely brilliant, great bit of YouTube. Highly recommend it. Anyway, I got the opportunity to do a similar sort of thing yesterday. So there's a YouTuber in Derby. And he has a merch store, and that's the merch I'm wearing now, called Mashtag Brady. And when you bought his merch over the Christmas period, in there was like a little, you're now enrolled in this hide and seek game on the 28th of December. So literally on the 28th of December, he created a whole new like Instagram account. And on there, he posted like sets of like thing of where he's going to be. And the whole point was you had to go and find him anywhere in the UK. And literally, when he posted we weren't that bothered at first, but when he posted his first thing, Chrissy went, that's Michelova's petrol station. So we knew exactly where he started from. He then like said that he'd had to go to Halford to pick this thing up. So we knew which Halford he went to. So we went on this thing. Anyway, we ended up in Rochester to begin with. Then we went to Doncaster. Then we went to Scunthorpe. So all the glamorous places of the UK. To try and find the thing. So it was a good little thing. And honestly, it made me have even more appreciation for that game, Jet Lag, now. So if you've got any time over this next couple of weeks, make sure you watch Jet Lag, especially now they're in the UK, like watching that and how it works and everything else. Absolutely brilliant. And the best thing that you'll recognize the places, like that's St. Pancras, or that's Leeds train station. There's a load of places we had to do, when we were doing our tour in 2023 and all that sort of stuff. A lot of places that they go to from there. So yeah. Go and watch Jet Lag, and you'll have a new appreciation for it. Because I certainly do. Because honestly, the thrill of going, wait, he could be driving through, because we knew what car he had, because we watched him for so long. Like we knew what car he was, so we was keeping an eye out for his car and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, very good.
I would say get out more, but it sounds like you went around half the UK.
Yeah, the dog wasn't exactly thrilled about having to sit in the back, but she's fine. She's fine.
Dealt with it. Moving on.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, as long as you've enjoyed your week, that's what's important.
It was great. Good.
Right, and we are not if anything here, if not for
How
our
about your
community.
week? How's your week been?
Uh,
Not that I'm trying to
I
pad
had-
out this episode because we've got nothing to talk about. But how was your week?
I had a very chilled week, to be fair. I sat and listened to a couple of books that I've been meaning to listen to, all work related, of course, but never mind. Didn't really do a huge amount of anything. Just ate far too much, and like, I was covering Engage the support, but I was doing it from the sofa. I was watching TV. It wasn't, I only had to check it once or twice a day. Like, it wasn't exactly strenuous. And I dabbled with a few bits. There's a few releases and some softwares that I've been meaning to look at, and it's like that kind of stuff I don't mind doing in front of the telly with the laptop.
Yeah.
Whilst I'm uninterrupted stuff. So yeah, very nice chilled week. Thank you very much.
Good.
Right, let's have a look at our community and see what they've all been up to. Good morning to Kirsty, who first in at 8:30 today. I take it Cheryl's still on Christmas break somewhere. Kirsty says, good morning, everyone. Hope you all had a good Christmas. We did, thank you. Juliet says, good morning, all. Morning, Juliet. Paul Ingram says, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. A&B Accountants says, good morning. Hope you both had a relaxing Christmas. I think we both did, by the sounds of it. Planned or unplanned, we got there. Stephanie says, good morning, gents, or hi, gents. Hope you had a great Christmas break. Mahal says, good morning, everyone from London. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. And he's subscribed for a cool listener on
he
Patreon.
was one of them. Well, welcome.
There we
welcome
go.
Aboard.
Elsie Fowler says, hi, good morning. Clive says, good morning, chaps. Enjoy your Christmas time off. Aaron, take a break. Suzanne says, good morning. Hope everyone had a lovely Christmas. Stephanie says, that's my life history. How weird. Rochester, Doncaster, Scunthorpe is my life backwards. You know what's important, though, is you're not there now. Like, and then we've got Clive saying, seeing some firms only close Christmas Day and St. Stephen's Day, and then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, seeing others close from the 19th to the 5th of January. Is it Scrooge-like to only close for a couple of days? Whatever works for your firm.
Yeah, but the team was off. Trust me. I wouldn't dare even suggest that they. I mean, in fairness, they have a choice. Like, do they want to take that time off, or don't they want to? Because some people want to use their holidays in other places, don't they? Right. So we always just have an open door policy. But from a client's point of view, we're off. So
yeah, it's we have the same policy. Like, we email all the clients back in October, November time, saying these are the office hours. There aren't any. Deal with it, move on, get your payroll into us early, get your VAT into us early. If you don't, you're going to suffer for it. And then the team can do what they want in that time. For me, it's great for project work and little tasks that I've been meaning to do. For others, they take it off completely, and that's fine. That's more than happy with that. And Stephanie said, I closed the laptop Christmas Eve and I haven't opened it yet. Nice. I started going a little bit crazy by the end of Christmas Day. Like, I was itching and starting to rock. So yeah, I cracked back on Unboxing Day, as it were. But as I say, all very leisurely, and just enjoyed being able to keep up with all the Netflix stuff and everything at the same time. But yeah, fantastic. Right, so
we've got one more as well.
Oh, and then Paul Whitehouse, because you came in 5 minutes early, you then by default go to the back of the queue, I'm afraid. So morning all, hope you had a good Christmas. Good morning, Paul. Hope you had a good Christmas down in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Right. So as Aaron's mentioned, it's that weird period, isn't it? That thankfully we have a podcast today, so I know what day it is. It's been a bit hit and miss over the last few days as to what day is it. But yeah, very much thankful for a bit of a milestone, a landmark to help steer us through this weird period between Christmas and New Year. So no real news to go through. So what we thought, we do, because we're imaginative like this, and we haven't seen this done anywhere else. No other YouTube channels or anything are doing this. We're going to do a year in review. Basically, we're going to look back. We're going to discuss what our highlights were and our lowlights, for that matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our favorite hardware, tech releases, software releases, favorite software of the year, biggest software release flop of the year, all this good stuff. But there are rules. So we are acutely aware we can be a bit biased at times. So first rule is Aaron can't mention QuickBooks.
I feel like I'm being handcuffed, but it's fine. You go with that rule.
And I can't mention Engager and TaxCalc, because otherwise we'd find a reason to justify every single category being one of those three. We are going to discuss favorite event of the year, and Aaron's not allowed to mention Vegas.
Back to the drawing board for me then.
Yes, and we will try and avoid talking about ChatGPT as well, but I can't promise anything. Basically, I've been listening to our users, to our listeners, and taking their feedback on board, and thought we'll make this a bit more generic. And Paul says next rule, no F1. Fair enough. We hadn't even thought of bringing F1 in, but fine.
Well, that goes half of my categories out the window. I'm gonna have to start again. Thanks for that, Paul.
But yeah, so let's kick off with.
Although we have to say this though. Hashtag ATA wrapped.
ATA wrapped. There we go.
I like that, Kirsty.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Although if you've seen my rapping skills, you know this next hour is going to be disappointing for everybody. So they're the rules. We've explained the rules. So let's crack on with our first category. Aaron, what has been your favorite hardware of 2025? The bit of kit that you've just used pretty much every single day. It's always with you. And in hindsight, you'd be stuck without it.
So I'm going to cheat already.
No cheating.
And honestly, not to pad out this episode, honest. But I want to give some honourable mentions. And hopefully I don't steal your limelight of something that you're going to pick. But yeah, I've got, and I think we should mention like maximum of 2 honourable mentions. I think otherwise we'll be here all day, right? So my 2 honourable mentions is number 1 is my little if I was allowed to, then yes, that's exactly what I was going to say, Steph. But I'm not allowed to. That's not part of the rules. But my number 1 would have been, or is, should I say, is that new, I always forget what it's called, GI Net's little mini router that we have. And the idea there is, as I'm out and about, and I've been doing that a lot this year, having that one device with me means I can set that one device up, get it connected to whatever internet needs to be connected to, 5G, Wi-Fi, whatever it's going to be, and all my devices connect to it. Absolute brilliant piece of kit. Love that. And has been such a useful one. And we're going to be using it more and more for ATA as well, because there's things like when we're now at events and stuff, we can set that up and it has its own little mini internet thing, and then we can start uploading data up there. We can start connecting devices, all sorts of use cases for it. But yeah, absolutely love that. My second honorable mention has to be the mouse. It was an upgrade. Yeah, it was an upgrade. I think it was, we weren't asking for an upgrade for it. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is the MX4. This one is that right? I've got that right. It's the MX4. And we were both on the show big believers in MX3. And on here, they've done a few kind of tweaky updates, but not major ones. So that's why it didn't win overall. But still, best mouse on the market by a country mile, in our opinion. Having a scroll wheel here so that you can go left and right, game changer. And having 2 little buttons there. Honestly, I use those buttons more than I care to admit, because they are my copy and paste button. You think as an accountant and bookkeeper, how many times you copy and paste in from one to another? Like, yeah, just having that as a shortcut there. I was saying off air as well that I was even doing it as a screenshot option as well, but it didn't quite work as I wanted it to. But they're the sort of functionality you can start going down when you go down the route. So they're my honorary mentions. But my actual piece of tech that has been a bit of a game changer for me is my new Legion Go mini computer. Now you won't see this yet but I've done a whole review on it. So for Patreon members, you'll know that you have access now to my everyday carry. That was basically what's in my backpack. But I did a stealth carry as well. Not sure what the actual title of that would be, but in there I have this really tiny mini computer called the Legion Go. And what I really, really like about it, I mean, I've been looking for a while, haven't I, for a, that Windows device that makes sense to me, right? Because I'm a fully Mac, and that's what I use on a day-to-day basis. But every now and again, the team have like Windows issues, or I've got to kind of check a piece of software. So I've always had to have a Windows device, and for a long time, I've been taking that Surface Book around with me, had 5G on it, blah blah blah. But it was so frustrating. It was just it just didn't fulfill what it needed. But this new Legion Go is a really tiny device. So literally is pocketable. But also has the ability to have little game controls on either side. So if I want to, I can play a game or two while I'm on the train, or I can watch some content on it. It's got this beautiful OLED screen on it. It's Windows powered. It's tiny, as I've said. And yeah, honestly, for the kind of use case scenarios and getting the most out of it, and having it as like, it's also doubles as a camera monitor as well. When I've gone there, it's got so much use cases for it. And I think I'm getting to that point now where a piece of tech for me to wow me has to have multiple use cases and has to be able to be put into multiple areas. So yeah, Legion Go. I've got a whole video coming out on it in a couple of weeks' time or months' time on the bonus show and everything else. Like, I think it gets released in like maybe March, April, because the bonus show people get a timed exclusive. But yeah, do keep an eye on it, because I absolutely love that piece of gear. It's I can do anything. I can use any piece of software on it. It's full Windows, but it's in such a nice compact little area. And one of the controllers has a trackpad on it, and also you can turn it into a mouse. It's got all this little funky elements like that. So you bring a keyboard with you and you're off to the races. What about yours?
Fantastic.
Or any comments on mine first?
No, I mean, completely agree. The Logitech MX4 has been a fantastic mouse. Joe Black in the comments has said, I brought the mouse after seeing yours and love it. The copy and paste and horizontal scroll save so much time. They are such good bits of kit. But my winner has got to be the Plord. So this is the Plord Note Pro, but also in my notebook, I've got the pin just sat there. So when I'm taking notes in meetings and stuff. And the reason that that's become so important is I spend a lot of my time in meetings now.
Yeah.
Like, the Plord actually gives you stats. So I know I've recorded 1,570 phone calls, meetings, etc. in the last year. And that's 539.2 hours worth of content recorded. Now, there's no way I can take notes of all of that and pay attention to what's going on in the room or on the call at the same time. So that's saved me so much hassle, being able to record, transcribe at a click of a button. Fantastic. But also what it's done is I've used it and I've had it on me to record whenever I'm on stage speaking about things. And it's actually Plord recordings that were the foundation of my last book about how to buy a business.
Yeah.
Because I took all my recordings and transcripts that Plord just recorded for me and used from sessions where I stood on stage speaking about buying businesses, financial due diligence and stuff. And that all of a sudden I had quite a strong foundation to build on for a new book. Whereas if I hadn't had those recordings, I've been sat there trying to scratch my head, trying to think of what I'd said and almost forcing it. So yeah, the Plord Note or the Plord ecosystem, whether you've got the pin, the note, whatever you're using, absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, huge asset to me in my day-to-day life, basically.
Do you think there is? Oh, go on. I was gonna say, do you think? Because my biggest takeaway from that is it's a whole ecosystem just dedicated to it, right? And I think there's so much strength in there in that, isn't there? Where it's just like literally it's dedicated to that one element of it. That's all it's going to do. Blah blah blah. But do you at all feel nervous about the direction that ChatGPT is going and them going into hardware? Because this seems like an obvious place for them to take their hardware, right?
If they do, absolutely fine with that, because
Okay.
Claude has got the ability. Claude has got a Zapier integration, so I can actually tell it as soon as there's a new recording transcribed. I can tell it in theory to take it from there and put it via Zapier into Google Docs, into ChatGPT, etc. Not an issue. But the reason I like Claude over other AI recording tools is it works in any scenario. So I could be meeting you in person, and that's not an issue. I can be on the phone; it's not an issue. It can record. I could be in a call online, Teams call, whatever it is. It can record. It covers every single manner of conversation I have. Whereas Firefly, all these other tools like Vinyl and stuff, they're all great. They all do amazing things, but they work on the presumption that every single important conversation I have is done on Zoom or Teams, and it's not.
Yeah.
So,
although I
if
think
you're
Vinyl did just bring out an app, right? I think that's one of their
but then that
new releases.
requires your phone.
Yeah.
And when you're out all day, even with the iPhone 17 Pro Max battery life being phenomenal, there's an amount of battery anxiety going on there. So the fact that I know I can record for 30 hours on this one little credit card sized device without putting any strain on my phone's battery, like that's just phenomenal. So again, like, yes, you can have apps on your phone, but it still puts a strain on the phone's battery. When if you're out for a long day, you might not want to be, like, so if I go to like one of these conferences that I go to, or like any of the conferences we go to at Accountex, right?
Yeah.
So we go to Accountex, Fab, wherever it is, your phone spends a whole, like, you and I, we're normally out of the hotel by 6 in the morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock at the latest.
Yeah.
We're then in a room which is surrounded by other mobile phones, all trying to leech off the same internet, which is draining on the battery in itself because it's having to work harder to maintain internet and get notifications and stuff to us.
Yeah, agreed.
Then we go for a pint afterwards. Then we go for dinner. Then, like, you could be out of that hotel room for 18 plus hours. So to do that on your phone's battery alone would be a strain. To then want to record 4 or 5 hours worth of sessions and conversations and stuff on top, it's just a strain on my phone I don't want to put on it. Like,
yeah.
Whereas with this device, I know I'm covered. I can capture as much content as I want and not worry about it.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I think that's where I'm battling it myself, because at this point in time, I have 4 different AI elements that I'm kind of battling with and trying to sync up and trying to figure out what the use case is for and paying for and all this, that, and the other. So part of me really wants that world where it's just one wins, and that's what I have to rely on. Because also, the whole point of getting the most out of AI is it has access to all that data, isn't it? So the more data we feed it, the more useful it's going to be. And having it now siloed in all these different bits isn't going to help. And that's why, because I was going to have an honorable mention for Insta360's Wave. We kind of, I think we may have spoke about it this time last week. But the idea of that is it's that the webcam both me and you are using, but now they've brought out a secondary part to it where it is the audio element of it, and it's huge. Like, it's like this big audio stick basically, and you can plop the camera on top, and using AI it can then record. And I'm in a position now where boardroom meetings and all that sort of stuff has become a thing. So I need to have that idea of being able to have it, and that technology would be amazing for that, right? Because it can analyze who the person's talking to You have these great, but then I'm introducing a whole other ecosystem of AI transcripts, and I'm like, do I really want another subscription, B, another siloed area for these meetings to go to? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where my frustration is at the moment. It's like, it's champagne problems, isn't it? Right? Like, we didn't have this technology X amount of years ago, so how should I be complaining about it? But I am frustrated that it's like
There is
fingertips.
still, with anything we do, there's a connectivity thing that, like, I sit there going, 500 something hours of me talking. A, that's got to be really dull. But B, like, I've already proven the concept that there's enough content in there to write a book.
Yeah.
So actually, what else is in there that, you know? So, and I'll come on to this a bit more later down our list.
Yeah.
But that ecosystem and everything, talking to everything, that is still a bit of a dream of mine. So I know I'm capturing the data now. I can only hope that in the future there'll be other abilities for me to use that data somewhere else.
Sounds good. Let's get to the next one, and let's alternate. So you go first on this one.
Okay, so tech release of 2025. Your favorite thing that's been released in 2025. I've struggled with this, if I'm honest. I feel like a lot of the upgrades this year for a lot of our favorite hardwares have just been like step improvements. They've not been anything amazing. But I think I'd have to go with the iPhone 17 Pro Plus. Like, I don't think the camera was a huge improvement or anything, but the battery life has just been a game changer for me. Like, I don't feel the need to take a mobile battery pack anymore. Whereas beforehand, like, if I did London and back in the day, for me, that's at 4:30 a.m. leaving the house. I'm back by midnight. And I would always stress about the phone battery life, because that's got everything, hasn't it? It's got your train tickets, it's got your bank cards, because I use Apple Pay, it's got everything in there. But since the new phone came out in September, my battery anxiety has diminished. It's not to the point that I'm happy to record things on it all day, every day, but I feel more confident in it. And taking any anxiety out of life is a bonus at the moment for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good phone, isn't it? And yeah, is it? See, my honourable mention for me would have been, and it's the iPhone Air. So that's the really thin device, right? Because I wrote it off. I thought, oh, it's a gimmick, whatever. But every time I pick it up, my wife's got it. So every time I pick it up, I'm like, oh, this is actually really nice. Like they've really nailed that aesthetic. What Apple do best, right? Like the aesthetics and everything else. And actually, the battery life hasn't been too much of an issue for her. She's not had too much of a problem. She does have the like official battery to go with it, but most of the time she's not really had a problem with it. But what it does make me think is, if the rumors are true and next year it is that foldable device, that's what I'm thinking that they've released this for, right? It's like a concept of that really thin element of it. Because for anyone who doesn't know as well, they actually made our phone thicker this year. And my tinfoil hat moment is, they've done that on purpose so that the next device is going to be either the same thickness or a tiny little bit thinner. The foldable device, like, that's what they're aiming for, right? To really wow. So that'll be my honorable mention, is just that iPhone Air, because I think it's such a it's I never thought I wanted it, but actually feeling it and having it in my hand, absolutely love it. But my actual device has been for the show, really, and it was the FX2 or FX4. I can always get them mixed up, whichever one it was. But a Sony camera. And what is impressive about this one is, we've always had these FX devices, and for anyone who doesn't know, like, you can get your normal kind of cameras that are just point and click or record video and stuff. But then they have what's called a cinema line. And the reason that cinema line is so useful is because they have things like fans in it, and they have 2 memory card slots. And they have all of these tiny little upgrades that are designed to make it so that if you're producing content, it's going to help you make sure that content gets recorded, which is probably one of the most important parts of doing any piece of content, right? But because it's got 2 memory card slots, it can get powered by USB-C, and it's got this fan on and all these tick 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 tick, all these options, right? It's always been an amazing device. And we've had an FX3 and FX30 are the 2 that we've been shooting our main content on for a while now, and then they released this FX4. And what drew my attention to it was we've always had like a third or a camera, because ideally, especially in our shots, we need to have more than we need to have multi-camera setup, and three cameras like the sweet spot for us. And we've always had the third camera, and I never wanted to go and buy another FX3 or another FX30. It just felt pointless, right? Like why buy the same device again? So we've always had like other devices there, and they've always been a bit of a, well, we best make sure that's on me or Johann, because that's the one that's likely to die or to give up the ghost or to not record or to get corrupted or do whatever the issue is, right? So it's always been, we almost had like this throwaway device, if you like, to go on us. Then they released the FX4, and what it is a hybrid, and it's not just camera as in video related, but it also is an amazing stills camera as well. And I've loved just getting back into that and actually having a focused stills camera, which still got all the cool tech on. Like, it's got redundancy on it. It's two memory card slots. It's got a fan on it. It's got power by USB-C. It's got all of these extra bits on it as well. But also, it's an amazing just like camera, right? And you can take these photos and go through from and all that sort of stuff. It's got dual mode on it and all this stuff. It's brilliant. And I love that. And that's also now the camera that goes on our grid walks with us, because it's got both of those elements to it, and we can easily swap it out, and it's got kind of all this bits on it, and it's just perfect for that. So yeah, for me, that's been my favorite tech. And I didn't think I wanted, or even considered it, but I'm really, really glad. And I think it was one of those as well, which was when it got released, it was so polarizing. Like, I watched so many YouTube, like I always do. I'm not going to buy anything without watching 20 odd YouTube videos and reviews on it, right? And I watched it, and everyone was polarized, and either it was the best thing they've ever heard of, or what a ridiculous idea, right? And that actually really, really kind of sold it to me, was, oh, for the right use case, for the right person, for the right setup, this is a really, really nice piece of kit. And because it was already in the same ecosystem as the other cameras, I already had all the batteries for it, I had the lenses for it, blah, 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 all the audio equipment, everything else. So literally, I just got to pick it up and put it in. Whereas before, I've been like playing around with, or do we go down like a Canon, or do we go down this, red whatever, and all these other stuff for that third camera. But no, they released a perfect camera for us. And yeah, I've been loving it.
Cool. Yeah, it has done some great work already, hasn't it? So
yeah.
Okay. Software release of the year. Now, remember the rules, Aaron. You cannot use QuickBooks. Also, listeners, stick in your thoughts on the best release of the year. So this is like a feature release, okay, to a software you're already using. What's your favorite one been? So yeah, stick it in the comments for us. But yeah, Aaron, go for it. Software release of the year.
So honorable mention for this one, just because it got me going, oh, and it was right at the beginning of the year, Ignition with its auto pricing. Now, I now have access to Ignition for my sins, and it isn't what it sounds like. Which, are we shocked? I think we said that. I think that's exactly what we said on the show, wasn't it? I didn't think it was going to be as good. But I do think that idea, though, I think they found the pain point. How they fixed it? Maybe like a true Ignition user who's fully embedded in it and like really gets behind it. Maybe it is for them, but for kind of like a outside looking in, doesn't quite seem to tick all the boxes. But that idea of auto pricing, I am well up for. Like, if we can find a way to nail that going forward, if there's a way of like making that actual dream a reality, I'm all up for. So that was like my honorable mention. But my actual release of the year has to be, for me, ChatGPT's Atlas Atlas web browser. So sure, everyone on the show knows already, but just a quick recap of what it is. ChatGPT's released their own a web browser. But what they've done cleverly on this is they've integrated their AI agents directly in it. And I've been using that AI agent for it lots and lots and lots of places. I even have a dedicated PC or Mac in the background that I've locked down, and it only has like access to X amount of things, all this, that, and the other. Which I think was our biggest frustration of the software when we first got it, was because every time I go into a new device, I have to set it all up again, and I'm having to do it. But actually, I think there's a strength to that as well. I think they need to do a more elegant way, or at least give you a choice. But the fact that when you go into a new device and you're setting up for the first time, you're in full control of what it can see, what it can do, and all that sort of stuff is actually quite clever. But I've been using it to triage my tickets. I've been using it to automatically take one piece of data from one place to another. I've let it go off into Engager, and it does like auto reminders for me. It creates me tickets when a notification comes in, things like that, right? Like, it's automating stuff in the background that I'm really, really enjoying using everything else. And also, I have it on my main computer as the place where, when I'm dealing with tickets for clients and stuff like that, or something's been sent to me, it is the perfect tool to have next to you, because all you need to do is go, oh, like the client may come in and say, oh, why is this, or whatever the issues, and mainly all I get now is like gribbles or problems or issues. Now I very rarely get the nice questions from clients, right? Mine's always like, oh, I'm frustrated because this hasn't, or what, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of tends to be my role now. So having a tool to just go through and like summarize what's happened before, or go into like, because it's got access to databases like Engager and stuff, and find out when stuff was done and stuff like that. I can let it go off and do what it needs to do, come back to me with a really good summary of what's happened, and then I can go back to it. That's been such a time saver. Now, normally, like a question like that could be an hour of my time gone easily, like gone, like down a rabbit hole trying to figure this out, figure that, whatever it's going to be. 10 minutes, I have all the data I need, go back to the client. That client's now happy, that client's satisfied, and I can move on my day. I'm like literally saving 45 minutes per query on the ones I get. Because again, the queries I'm getting are always going to be that little bit more complicated, that little bit more like there's more hour, because otherwise the team would have just dealt with it, right? Like the team would have just gone about it their day to day. But now I've got such a powerful tool to help me like tackle those things. Been absolute game changer. So yeah, if you've not started using it as well already, and you're already in the chat GPT world, I highly recommend just having a go at Atlas. Personally, I still can't have it as my one and done browser. Like it just won't, like it doesn't replace Chrome for me. And it pains me that I'm still using Chrome, right? Like seems like the wrong thing to use. But I'm using Chrome, loving Chrome. But Atlas is always going to be on that device as well. And having those siloed things where it's literally just my tickets are on that Atlas now, and access to like Engage and stuff like that. So it's got database it needs, but it is just there for communication, like getting tickets done, dishing out the work, all that sort of stuff. That's what it's there for. And it's been an absolute game changer for us. What about yourself, Jan? Or any thoughts on Atlas?
I know Atlas has been incredible. Again, I need to get into the habit and the routine of remembering that button is there and to use it.
Oh, is it? Do you not always have it open then? Is it not just open by default?
I'm always on. Like, I'm using Atlas browsers now, right? Yeah. This is on the browser. It's just remembering. Actually, ChatGPT's built into this. Could I ask ChatGPT to do this? It's like when you delegate stuff to your team. You have to sit there and go, why am I doing this? Could I ask someone else to do it? And it's just getting to that habit and that routine of doing that. But yeah, no, it's a very cool tool. It's got a huge amount of potential for us all. My software release or feature release of the year, it only released this month. And I couldn't work out why it wasn't working for some of my clients. But then I realized, it's because the QuickBooks integration is crap. And they've got a crap API, but the software providers already knew that, and they came up with a workaround that I just needed to implement. And that's Xenon's opening balance check. So this problem shouldn't exist, okay? But it does. We have to accept that. And that is, we file a set of accounts to Companies House for a limited company, and we go through our year or our months, whatever we're doing, and the balances in QuickBooks Xero, Free Agent, Sage move. And the opening balances for the financial year are not the same as what they were as closing balances at Company's House. And then you come to do the accounts or the management accounts, you spot the issue, you go back and try and change it. Yes, there's things like locking the books and stuff, but it all requires human interaction and remembering to set the lock and trusting a client's not going to go in and some clients don't want their books locked. They get frustrated and keep calling us to unlock them, and so Xenon have released in the last month the ability for it to check your opening balances for the current financial year in Xero, QuickBooks, Sage, Free Agent against the closing balances in the accounts as posted to Company's House. And that check is so important. I mean, you and I are looking at firms to acquire, right? I've seen accounts from accountants for their own firms where the balances posted in 2023, for example, in the 22-23 accounts, and then the comparison column for 23 to 24, 2023 doesn't bloody match. If that's happening with an accounting firm or a bookkeeping firm's own books, then how the hell can we expect our clients to stay right?
Yeah.
So just this simple check being done once or twice a day, every single day in Xenon. So whenever my team go in and look at the health score, it's on there if there's an issue. It just gives me confidence in the accuracy of what we're doing without having to manually go in and check it every time. And it also gives us confidence in our accounts production that they're starting in the right point. So yeah, for me, that Xenon release that came out with the Company's House integration just a matter of weeks ago, game changer for me and the confidence I've got in the quality of the books that we're working with. And for those of you that have got QuickBooks clients, you need to go into the client in Xenon, scroll fairly far down and enter their Company's House number and press save in the settings for that company, because QuickBooks doesn't have the Company's House number on the API, but Free Agent and Sage and Xero do, providing you've saved that data in the bookkeeping software.
Okay. And is that one day maybe we can get that from Engager? Will that ever happen, do you reckon?
But to do that, you're then doing a freeway sync.
Okay.
And trying to compare records when all QuickBooks actually need to do is improve their own API.
Which they promised to do, so that should be fine. One thing I would say though is, because I've still not had the chance to play with this, and it was actually on one of the jobs of my January was to Christmas to January was to play around with this. I it seems voodoo, right? Like if that API has always been available in terms of being able to be like, why isn't our accounts production software taking advantage of that, right? Because that would be a great little tool. And my accounts production tool, every time I run a set of accounts, it does like these pre-checks, blah, 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 blah. And most of the time I'm sat there going, why are you asking this question? But every so often it will come up with actually a legitimate, like, wait, you've added a new fixed asset, Rich, but you haven't put the percentage in. Like little things like that, right? Like comes up.
Yeah.
So sometimes it does actually. And imagine though, it could come up with, wait, last year's figures don't agree. Like, why has that not been our accounts production tool for years, right? Like Xenon's onto an absolute winner here. And
what it is?
Go for it.
It's because Xenon listens to its users. All these big tools don't listen. They're not sat there taking on the tiny, small pain points. Xenon really just sit there and listen at a lower, the granular level.
Yeah.
Of the feedback and understand what the problems are. Like the API for MTD VAT agent authorization has been available to the public for 5+ years.
Yeah.
No one's used it until this year when Engager went, well, that could work. Like for years, practice management tools have lied to us saying it doesn't exist. It does.
Yeah.
Like we just, sometimes it takes these new startups to come along and challenge perceptions and the pre-built assumptions that they know these softwares know best. They don't. The
Yeah.
users know best, and we've got to keep listening to them.
Yeah. Couldn't agree
So
more.
yeah, and
Couldn't agree more.
as Kirsty said, Gareth at Xenon is a trained accountant, so he understands the pain point himself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's probably a pain point he knows full well because he's suffered from it, right? Like, and so he's gone, well, surely there's a better way. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, that's my software release of the year, which is different to my favorite software of the year. What software have you used that has just made your life better, Aaron, this year? So mine has got to be Adfin.
Mhm.
In
Mhm.
January 25, I scrapped Go Cardless. I moved to Adfin. Everyone complains about how much effort that is. Like, it's so much easier now than it was back in January 25 when I was an early adopter. Like, everything had to be done manual. I had to do things a couple of times over because things changed, and the QuickBooks API was crap, and then they found ways around to make it better. But yeah, like, just January last year, I got paid for self-assessment work so much quicker and easier, and the volume that paid by Apple Pay was phenomenal.
Interesting.
But if you get when you go do online shopping, and if there's an option to enter your credit card details, address, etc., or just press the Apple Pay button, what are you going to do? You're going to press the Apple Pay button or the Google Pay button. Like, you don't sit there and go, oh no, that's too easy. I'll just type in all my details manually. Oh, hang on a minute, I've not got my wallet with me. I haven't memorized my bank card number or whatever it is. Like, yeah, Adfin for me has just made my life so much easier, and it's just continually getting better. So, like, all of a sudden, instead of having PayPal, Stripe, and Adfin and Go Cardless, I had one product to deal with, a product that could understand its own postings of its own journals. Because the moment Go Cardless got a charge back and they charged me £4 for the privilege of it not being charged, that was it. The QuickBooks reconciliation didn't work because they didn't correct the journal for me. So to go from that to one platform that does it all, I've got credit control built in now. My credit control is better than it's ever been, and it's fully automated. The fact that it hassles people on WhatsApp means I get a better response. Yeah, Adfin's just been an absolute game changer for my firm this year, thankfully. How about you, Aaron? What's your software of the year?
Well, first of all, yeah, completely agree on Adfin. Absolutely love it. The new practice, we have 4 different payment providers, which is an absolute nightmare. So looking forward to getting into trying to consolidate that. At least if I can get half of those out of the way, I'm in a better place, right? Like, that's going to be brilliant. But also in Bofix, we have actually replaced our Square integration. So we have a website and a store where we're selling various things on there, and we've actually found a way to elegantly kill the Square one, which has been an absolute nightmare. Like, for example, every time a price increase comes in with QuickBooks licenses, for example, we had to ask our end user, our end customer, to cancel their subscription with us, so then reconnect with us at the new rate for us to accommodate for the fact that the price has been increased. It's ridiculous, right? Absolutely. This day and age, that should not be happening. And you can imagine, like, every year that we had to do a price increase, how many times that actually meant that we would then lose clients because they're just going, well, you're asking me to resubmit. I'm not going to do it. Bye. Like, it was, a buying decision for them, right? And we've literally forced them or given the opportunity to say goodbye. So it was a pointless exercise. But now we've replaced Square with Adfin, much better. So that, yeah, 100% agree on Adfin. Which one? Oh, favorite software, wasn't it? Yeah. Honorable mention has to go to this platform, StreamYard. absolutely brilliant. And this year they have gone from strength to strength with updates. Still waiting on a particular update that the rivals have got, which is a desktop app. I'm looking forward for them. Hopefully, they said they were going to release that this year. But what they have released this year has been the vertical integration. So now we can kind of, it's been hit and miss, but I think we've got a head around it. Having the ability to do it from there. They brought in new AI features as well, which means now we can get like AI snippets from it and all this sort of stuff. And I've been using it StreamYard a lot for getting content out to clients and stuff like that, like review of their accounts and stuff like that. It's just been a really, 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 really cool piece of kit, and loving it. But actually, my one, and it might surprise you on this one, but the one that's been really, really useful to me has been Canva. So Canva itself, I think most people see it as a marketing tool, and we just use it for marketing, and kind of going through and putting all of the elements into there. And I like the idea of the marketing side of things, and I think it has been a better tool than what we've used in the past. And I know Lizzie does really good work. Even I can like do a thumbnail on it and all that sort of stuff, right? So for that sort of stuff, yeah, lovely. I think it's got a real good place for it. But as a collaboration tool and a meeting tool, when you're even if you're in person, or if you want to start collaborating on ideas, or you're thinking, right, how are we going to tackle MTD and everything else like that? Creating a Canva space, so just an area where you can do it, like you can reset it, and then just inviting the team members in, and they can go to town, putting their ideas over here and talking about this over there. And you can bring databases in, and you can kind of have all of these different all these other elements that you can bring in and stuff like that. It's like, I know there are other whiteboardy tools, because that's effectively what I'm using now. It's a whiteboard, but a digital whiteboard. I know there are other ones out there, but I've always found them like a little bit restrictive, or I've had to like get a new license for them, and there's just been like pain points into like dishing it out, right? Canva, as long as you got one license, it's fine. You just add as many people as you want to it. Everyone's in. They've all got access to it. They can add things in. They can add any media they want. You can draw databases in there as well from other solutions, stuff like that. It's just a really nice place. And for like that trying to like make those meetings more engaging, more, getting the whole team to be involved in it, when you're trying to have those sort of meetings and stuff like that. Absolute game changer. We've started to use it a little bit for like planning like client work around it as well. So maybe they've got a big project or something, or we'll jump on a Canva board and we'll like map out what our project's going to be, because you can do like your flow charts and stuff like that to kind of get thing. When we did migration from one database to another, we'll like do it on there. Like there's just so much tools in there, and they've just nailed that usability. That's what Canva really is clever about. It's just just intuitive, right? We don't have to do a whole session on this is Canva, this is how to use it, this is what the button does, blah blah blah. You literally give them a copy of it to the team, and they'll be off to the races. Absolutely love it.
Fantastic.
Oh, and answering Clive, why not Ecamm over StreamYard? I fell out of love with Ecamm. Yeah, it just.
So my biggest issue with Ecamm is it's too complicated.
Yeah.
So one of the things we have is, obviously there's you and me every Monday, but then there's so many other shows becoming part of the network. It's got to be simple for other users to come in. So our guests like Amy, James, Tim, everyone else that's part of the group now, they need to be able to kind of plug and play.
Yeah.
Ecamm is not a plug and play software platform. Like
No.
it's amazingly powerful, but at the same time, incredibly complex for the same thing. So yeah, just for simplicity of plug, go live, crack on, StreamYard is far, far better if you've got guests and stuff, especially.
Yeah. And it's brands as well, right? We have all these brands, like you said, about all the networks. We just have a little drop down button at the beginning, which brand we want, and everything's set up. Like Lizzie does an amazing job, like setting each one up to have their own unique feel and all that sort of stuff. If we tried to replicate that on Ecamm, or how would that work? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, every time we move device, we'd have to start again. There's those sort of things as well, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the plug and play. We need the plug and play and the reliability, and StreamYard does that every time. So we've only got 5 minutes left, which means we've only got time for one more, and that's going to be our favorite event of the year 2025. Now, we had a few other headlines that we wanted to potentially look at, but we've not covered them yet. But you know what? Silver lining, because they were the negative ones. So this has been a very positive, after our comment last week about our negative attitude at the moment, this has been a very positive, everybody's lovely type podcast. So we're going to end it in 5 minutes time on that. So our final favorite category, favorite event of 2025. Mr. Patrick, over to you.
This is hard, isn't it? This is really, 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 really
So
hard.
many good.
I mean, ICB was up there. I thought it was a cracking event, but for me, it has to be a Countex. And Manchester has always got a special place in my heart, but London this year just felt like it was on another level. And there was something about that that event. I think we learned a lot. I think we were able to nail it and kind of learn a lot from it and kind of understand exactly how to get that flow to work, what we need to do, and everything else. It's already affected us for next year because we've been asked to come again next year. So we are like, obviously, we're going to say yes to that, and obviously, we're going to put out everything into it. And we were already kind of thinking, like, well, if we do this differently, do that differently, and everything else. I feel like for us, it's a special place because that's where where we got to. But well, that's where ATA was born, so that's kind of always going to be there. And also, I feel like this year there was just something about it. The announcement from Tatscalc and Engager, that was like so cool, like having all of that kind of seeing all that happen and everything else that goes with it, and that buzz around the area because of that, and that talk that came through with it. We had so many like big marquee elements of that event that are there. Yeah, for me, it has to be Accountex South. What about yourself?
Oh, right. So I know it's against the rules, but I am going to make an honourable mention to Labs.
Oh yeah,
first event of the year, and I cannot tell you how much effort and hard work Ash and Andy Wainwright put into organising Labs, and the day was incredible. Like I still sit in awe of the efforts and the organisation and the planning that they put into this. And I've seen events before this year and since then where they've got huge teams of people that don't pull off an event like Labs.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of people that are involved in something like a Zero Roadshow, a Free Agent Roadshow, a QuickBooks Roadshow, a Sage Roadshow, etc. That, yeah, they do an amazing job. But yeah, they've got a huge team and huge budgets and resources for it. Ash and Andy did it on their own. And, it was just to pull that off with just two people was phenomenal. But the day itself was incredible. I think it really showed what could happen when you have two people that haven't done events before kind of coming with a bit of a blank slate, like musicians in the hallway all day. The exhibitors were all saying it's the best return on investment they've ever had because they were basically pre-qualified to be there by us.
Yeah.
We were saying like these guys are good guys to talk to. So honourable mention has to go to Labs, but the rules are I can't mention Engage or Tatscalc, so they can't win it for me. No, for me, the event of the year has got to be Accountex London. Like
London, yeah. Oh, I suppose the announcement for you, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought you were going to say Manchester, but go for it.
No, it wasn't even the announcement, which obviously was phenomenal. I mean, highly stressful, but phenomenal. But there's just something about events that I absolutely love. There's an adrenaline, there's an energy, and there is no bigger hit in the year of adrenaline and energy from an event than Accountex London.
Yeah.
Like 2 days of intense. I mean, we don't even podcast after Accountex London anymore because we know we're done. 2 days of Accountex London, you're spent for a long weekend. You need a break. But the numbers, like what is it, nearly 12,000 people this year?
And is it more this year as well?
It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
The energy, working with people like Caroline's just always an absolute pleasure. The networking with fellow software companies and users, etc. Yeah, like I get a hit from every event, but no event gives me the hit that Accountex London gives me.
Yeah.
Regardless of announcements, regardless of what stand I'm stood on, that is the event every year that I cannot wait for. And I completely get people don't want to go to it and people find it completely overwhelming.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of us out there that find that overwhelm like a real hit. Like it becomes addictive to do events like that. And yeah, London is just phenomenal at what they do. So yeah, it has to be Accountex London. And as you say, we've got links back there for a few years now where that's where we came up with the idea of the podcast. It was, it's got a special place for us.
That's where the Grid Walk was born.
It's where the Grid Walk was born. It's like so many special things have happened there for us. But yeah, that's the event that I'm so looking forward to. Like, I've got a lot of events in 2026. Like the 68 nights I spent away from home in 25. I think that'll be nothing compared to 26 based on what I'm looking at in my diary at the moment. But the highlight event's going to be London Accountex by far. I've no doubt in that whatsoever. But yeah, right. Well, it's 9:31. We overran quite a lot last week, so I'm told. So we will sign it off there. Before I hand over to my co-host to say whatever he needs to say, thank you to everyone for all of your support in 2025. It's been an incredible year for the network and for us as individuals personally. And yeah, just very excited about everything that's coming up in 2026. The network's going to be taking a huge step forwards. Patreon goes live technically on the 1st of January, but if you're really eager, you can sign up today. Just go onto the Patreon website or download the Patreon app, and you can sign up and subscribe to the Ask the Accountant network to be a cool listener. And yeah, the plan is we'll be putting in content. Like there's a video in there currently for Aaron's everyday carry. I need to go and film mine. That goes into there first, so you're going to get first access before it goes onto all the general public channels. There'll be exclusive content going in there that won't be public anywhere else. There's live chats in there. There's all sorts of conversations and stuff going on. So yeah, very excited about what 2026 has to bring. So to everybody listening and watching, I'd like to wish you all a very happy new year and wish you all a very prosperous 2026. Anything from you, Aaron?
Summed it up beautifully there. Just a big thank you from myself as well. Like, yeah, 2026 is going to be a big year for Ask the Accountant. It's all thanks to each and every one of you. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you for being there in 2025. But yeah, we're really excited for 2026 and what that can bring. And again, it's all thanks to you guys. So yeah, thanks for joining us. And yeah, keep us honest though. Let us know, put in the comments, let us know what we can do better. Is there anything you want from this new Patreon area? Is there something we've not thought of? Like, we wouldn't be here without you guys. So yeah, let us know what you want from it, and we can go and make that happen for you. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a great new year, like Johann said. Shall we quickly just go through what people are saying here? We've got Clive saying Happy New Year.
Yeah, Stephanie says Happy New Year, team. AIMGB account says Happy New Year. Kirsty's saying Happy New Year, and Paul says HNY. Just down with the kids.
Brilliant.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful new year, and we'll see you all in 2026.
Bye.